Welcome. I am Zoktoro Zanzibar, better known as Zoktoro the Hermit. You will never see me, yet we will begin a friendship, a relationship, with all of the clutter and the nonsense and the irrelevant information on the internet, as well as in the movies and the media. We need to do something to change the format. I would like to talk about why life stinks if you don't do it your way. And this will be a discussion that will lead you into being your authentic self when you live your life correctly, doing what is right for you. I am a stock trader. I swing trade stocks for a living, and I am a professional life coach with an emphasis on career goals and helping people achieve their maximum potential. But the methods I use are unlike any other. Stick around. I have always believed that life comes down to windows of opportunity that open just a few times in our entire life. Sometimes they open for a few seconds, as when you pass that man or woman of your dreams in the street. Sometimes they open for a few days, as when you get a job offer you must give an answer to by the next day. The dilemma is, if you make an educated guess that you will have, let's say 15 major windows open for you in one lifetime, and that is being very generous, then if you live until 80 years old, exactly, that leaves 29,185 days with no window. So the problem is, what do you do with the other 29,185 days of your life? If you are not sure, then this is your window. And I invite you to come in and talk. Now, I don't believe we are all born with oodles of talent, like all of the self-help books tell us, that we're all geniuses, we can all make it. No, we can't. I'm sorry. In fact, I don't believe most of us are born to be naturally persistent enough to become great at something. So what do? Here is the secret. We learn who we really are, and we become ourselves. That allows us to live life without resistance, and it also allows more windows and mini windows, as I will explain in later videos, to open up. When we do what is correct for us, meant for us, life becomes very pleasurable. But you must do what is correct for you. And much of our misery or wasted time and energy is simply because we do not do what is correct for us. Another secret, most of us do not even know what is correct for us, even while life is shouting out instructions. More on that later as well. Because we already made up our mind from being conditioned as a child or a teen, occasionally as an adult. Most of the times life is telling you if you are doing it right or wrong. Life tells you if you're doing life right or wrong, but our conditioning prevents us from even seeing it. If you are with the right person, if that business deal is right for you, if your choice is correct for you, the key is in two things: what you feel, the energy that surges through you after you experience something, sometimes before you experience something. It's this hit you get after you've made the decision. The second thing is the results that you immediately obtain from that decision, and then the feeling or the hit that accompanies the event afterwards. Pay attention to that. Start checking in with yourself every hour, even if possible, but at least several times throughout the day. Ask yourself, how do I feel right now? If the answer isn't what you want, then make the correct changes or adjustments in your perception. And if you can't do that easily, then you contact me. The mind is often your enemy in your decision-making process and what is correct for you. There are other places to get better information quite often. Einstein is famous for his quote, "The same mind that created the problem cannot be the same mind that solves it or gets out of it." And I'd like to also add, the same mind that created the problem is definitely going to be the same mind that stays stuck in it unless you get information from outside the mind, another person, another area of energy in your own body. Let me add, no matter how brilliant or old or wise or experienced you are, the mind will not always be your friend. And sometimes you won't know. Sometimes you'll be sure everything is okay. That was my fatal mistake through my life. I felt I was sharper than most of the people around me, so I thought I could make my own decisions with my mind. When has your mind ever given you any peace? Why do we use the term, "I am going out of my mind"? It's because we really prefer not to stay there all the time. We really don't. The mind has led intelligent people to some of the most ridiculous decisions. From genocides and wars on a mass scale to individually falling in love with someone who doesn't even like you. You know? I mean, even little things like going to an ice cream store and trying a new flavor. And then after you walk out with your cone in your hand, you go, "Why did I get this 5-color ice cream cone with walnuts? I'm eating food coloring and nuts. I hate nuts." But you ordered it anyway. The mind did that. Your decision-making process. Get a checkup from the neck up, because sometimes it doesn't work when you use just the mind. The mind is great for gathering information, not always for decision-making. Now, conversely, I had a grandfather who, for 40 years, whenever he went to a Chinese restaurant, he ordered chicken chow mein and never, ever, ever, ever tried another dish anywhere, anytime in 40 years. The mind, it can keep us making the same decision for 80 years. And not one year was a good year. The mind.